Caucasian still talk shit behind my back, but I jack a pistol, or ever sell crack, attack an enemy, or walk laps around the track. How would I act if one time cut me extra slack? Would I still blow my dough or be disciplined and stack? I wonder, what type of roof would I live under? My mom and pops together, or my family asunder? Most likely, be close to the ones that's most likely. Spiky flat tops that just like Spike Lee. The fact of the matter, the blacker the batter, the fatter the penis with that yak in the bladder. Would I be humble or still wild and ready to rumble? Crumble chronic and guzzle yak till I stumble. If an if was a fifth, I could knock it down swift. And that ain't an if or a myth. But what if? What if? What if Pops would've never copped that house for sale, and instead bought one with a Damu's dwell? I can tell, I just know myself too well. I be still banged out, giving keyways hell. When I fail with the big homies coming post bail, and Michelle, will she still be in the Norvale or my mail? Would I still prevail in them shootouts and love to smell the discharged shells? I bet I'd still be a ride on the set, squabbing, can't stand to see the homies on the wet. Whacked out, looped up so much he black out. Would I ride in a county jail ride or track out? Hit the blood module or walk the main line? Claim mine with tattoos, throwing up gang signs. What if Pac would've never fell in love with a Glock? Would we still had these thugs that bang from no block? What if? And then what if Eve would've never been deceived? But we still rob and kill, fornicate and thieve. I believe it'd be perfect with no purpose to grieve. Some say that I'm a dreamer and a little bit naive. What if I didn't have such a gorgeous gift? Would I have to lift boxes on the graveyard shift? Would the war be so wicked with war? And then would niggas get to hang that couldn't kick it before? Would Bin Laden had a been rotten? Still hot and plotting, Armageddon on this modern day sodden? Not in a million years could we predict the pleasure if a man didn't think with his dick. Perhaps we'd be living in a world without straps, claps and kidnaps, no gangster raps. And that's the only thing that make me think twice about if being switched, cause I do it so nice. What if? Nigga don't control none of this shit. That's what if though. I've been through a few storms, but I always knew Emmanuel would see me through. He always do. It get more hard to cry every day go by. I ain't gon' lie, that's why I stay so high. I'm an artist, working at perfecting his pictures, drinking liquor when I should be searching the scriptures. I keep a lone chrome, I ain't trying to get my dome blown while I get my dome blown. I was homegrown, mama may have and papa may got, but I'm a man, I can't just stay at they spot. You sitting on your ass, saying you wishing you had it. I'm at my kid's school paying tuition. They say it take a village to raise them from a knee high, or drop them off and let them go live with Eli. Put food on the table, I ain't looking for help. I can bring home the bacon and cook it myself.
Was born alone to die alone, cause I'm homegrown. God bless the child that can hold his own. Was born alone to die alone, cause I'm homegrown. God bless the child that can hold his own. Was born alone to die alone, cause I'm homegrown. God bless the child that can hold his own. Was born alone to die
all the worries that she already carried. Mom's had me by a man that was already married. That's the circumstances into which I fell. Father Abraham ain't lived with Ishmael. Keep my balance through the troubles I challenge. Such a faithful steward, always gotta double my talents. That's why I go so hard to see my whole 9 yards. Lost time, the LOC did more than 4 behind bars. I said it, I did it. I'm breaded, I get it, I'm with it. I'm a prophet, they just scared to admit it. I was born alone to die alone. I get high alone, and ain't nothing like your own when you buy a home. Rolling Stone might see me in Miami. No Grammy, but I'm eating and feeding my family. Made a mess. Seen so many die for less, you call it luck. Why can't it just be I'm blessed?
Was born alone to die alone, cause I'm homegrown. God bless the child back in home zone. Was born alone to die alone, cause I'm homegrown. God bless the child back in home zone. Was born alone to die alone, cause I'm homegrown. God bless the child back in home zone. Was born alone to die alone, cause I'm homegrown. God bless the child back in home zone.
Can God bless a young nigga when he's obsessed with making money and murder in the process? I confess I'm dirty and dishonest. Listen to my flesh and ignore my conscience. The way I was raised ain't nothing like I am these days. 10 years ago they said I was going through a phase, but amazed a nigga ain't changed his ways. I still smokes and drinks and thanks to crime pays. The lust of the flesh got me brushing with death. I hustle too much to ever suffer the stress of being broke. I'm banged out, fuck tryna hang out, slang out the back door. I smoking my brains out, accustomed to busting, put trust into nothing but dollars and cents with dishonest attempts to make more and take more. Make no mistakes though, I'm sick in the head and I lick for the bread.
Was born alone to die alone, cause I'm homegrown. God bless the child back in home zone. Was born alone to die alone, cause I'm homegrown. God bless the child back in home zone. Was born alone to die alone, cause I'm homegrown. God bless the child back in home zone. Was born alone to die alone, cause I'm homegrown. God bless the child back in home zone.
Getting hard trying to live in this land, Lord. I'm sick of paying rent, I wanna be the landlord. Not too many children in my section 8 last night. Lights out, they on section 8. We get constipated from that government cheese. Paying taxes, steady get a government cheese. Don't nothing change no matter who we vote for. So why waste time even going to try to vote for? When you grind so hard, you supposed to see profit. Why we so broke? We supposed to be prophets. We never had a choice on coming to America. I feel something real bad is coming to America. I don't write the mayor, they say I got a right to, but I don't even know where a nigga supposed to write to. I keep my chest up and head to the sky until the day I burn or head to the sky.
There was many bad days. Lord, I've had hills to climb and sleepless nights. But when I look around and see what you've done for me, I'll say thank you, Lord, and I won't complain. Yeah, no.
I'm no devil, I know that I'm God's son, but I still smoke weed with my godson. And even though they say the woman is the backbone, we just wanna see them laying on their backbone. Thumb through the word, but you know what's confusing? Between the experts, it's so much confusion. I want it all, for all that I care about. I want a ball, that's all that I care about. Travel 50 states, broke 48 laws. Ran across a book called 48 Laws. Some say it's bad, some say it's a good book. I say it ain't got nothing on the good book. I ain't tripping on going to the motherland. On the other hand, I like to buy my motherland. What price can we all get peaceful? Stay at war and swear that we peaceful.
Many good days and bad days. I've had some hills to climb and Lord, sleepless nights. When I look around and see what you've done for me, I'll say thank you, Lord. I won't complain.
What's wrong? Can't we all get along? Wanna buy a home, but can't get along. I'm trying to stay focused and write the right rhymes, cause these days everybody write rhymes. My uncle went to the rehab, hooked on morphine. It seems he came out even more fiend. Don't wanna see cuz die or blood bleed. We all lose every time black blood bleed. Holla Hail Mary, a light light no candle, but I'm still trying to handle what I can do. I go hard for what I need, so it's ample. Watch me, you won't need no example. Crucial situation, my life in a crisis. Need to trade my life in for crisis. Please forgive me for what I did last night. I don't know, this might be my last night.
Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe, stay tuned, all that.
It's the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake Show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
I'm here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch!
My nigga Spider Low.
Spider Low, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low, that's my nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low. Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
You are now in the black box with the homie Spider Low, the most eastiest. Facts over feelings, keeping it a Google Plex. Feel my campaign.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loc is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
I can't think without a whole zone. It's almost gone, but don't think about the old zone. I ain't ate all day, but I'm so blown. Tell the DJ to throw on a slow song. My life is what the po-po press for. South Central is so stressful. In the city of the bombest herbs. The only way to loc know the calmest nerves. Females say I'm a conceited nothing. No good, only call when in need of something. It's a thin line between the love and the lust. Should never have young cuz in the cuffs. Gotta be cool with them first advances. Working in these uncertain circumstances. Fake ballin' had you broke with a buzz. Pump your brakes, come smoke one with us. And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us. And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us. I get high as the heights that I'm reaching to. Put a few in the air for Big Meech and Blue. Grind hard through the middle of the night. Shit, I might see a little of the light. I never sleep, barely get some rest. I swallow my blood before I hit some stress. Roscoe's on the east, a hit to west for jacks. Pockets fat, I just hit for racks. Yeah, that's where I can get some clothes at too. It's already 1 and it close at 2. Fast lane, ballin' out, racing the range. gangbanger, all about chasing the change. I'm icy, judge and the jury, ain't trying to see the judge and the jury. Eastie, represent the E&S, but I still Baymac like BMF. And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us.
Come on.
Come smoke one with us.
Come on.
And we can get high, y'all. Never know
When we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Hustle, listen, come. Hey, look. Get money every day like it's no thing. Buy a zone of that cushion, smoke the whole thing. Rolled up deuces, carry 4-5. Off a half a gram of kush, but we so high. South Central where they murder with no alibi. Do walk-ups and don't respect drive-bys. We some young killers, still some fly guys. Neighborhood near Bustle and SPI. We rich roller coaster cribbing, that's our lifestyle. And that explains why my neck and wrist iced out. Smoke big blunts, and ride luxury. A nigga beat his bitch up cause she was fucking me. And then I beat the pussy up and told her it'll be alright, just tell me every time he mention me. Yeah, and that's just how it's meant to be. It's an in-hood thing, Slauson after century.
and we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us. And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us.
When his life paid the ultimate price. On my mama, the marijuana thon continue. That's why OG is on the menu. On my mama, show is a blessing to meet here this morning and blow us a session. As usual, we like to get to the bottom line, and that is the crux of things, a puzzling or difficult problem, an unsolved question, an essential point requiring resolution or resolving an outcome. The most common use is that second one there, an essential point requiring resolution or resolving an outcome. It's often heard through life when people trying to figure things out, get to the bottom line, they say, well, we're trying to get to the crux of things. We're trying to get to the crux. I got static going on my mama. A lot of static. That's right. I would have no idea why I would have static. It's still static. Up City up in here, Big Blue up in here. My mama, Headhunt up in here, Sleepy Blue, everything, Babyface, the D9, Justin Bieber, Black Gorilla, on my mama. Boo, is it still static? Or what? Y'all hear static? Or it's just, he just got static? Do I got the static or is he got the static? I ain't trying to panic, but the pistol's automatic. On my mama, we be looking forward. Crimes, the jail, we be looking forward. We bucks to be shook, you know it. They know that I'm the cookie poet. Y'all see that black box t-shirt, right? That's on that Baymax streetwear. Like, let me reiterate, because I know I haven't said it enough for everybody to know. Any design you see me wear that you cannot find on the Baymax streetwear site, or on the Baymax clothing, which is the BaymacBigCartel.com. Now, the Baymax clothing, anything you see up there, we're going to have. Oh, it's still static? Let's try this. Is it still static? Illmatic? Anything you don't see on either site, anything that's on that you see on the Baymax clothing site, you'll definitely be able to find right there. But if you see me wearing something and you can't go find it on the Baymax clothing site, definitely you'll be able to screenshot what you see me in, send it to the Baymax streetwear site. Y'all still can't hear me clear. Still a problem with the sound? Love Cubs, we're looking 500 for the low. Talk to my bro daddy. He said y'all got something cooking. Damn, who is that? Good looking, Rico. Oh, the fan, Ben. I turned the fan off. That's all it was. Y'all just got, I got y'all spoiled, but good looking. You can go to the Baymax Streetwear site, take a screenshot, send it, and Baymax Breeze will definitely tap in with you and help you locate it. Because I'm gonna tell y'all what happens. Just as a designer, because we have such a consistent, continuous thing going on. I think I've been the masters thus far of anybody I've seen wearing the same things and on a regular basis and making a difference. Same exact thing I do differently daily. So we just kind of got into that and without even talking about it. So I get designs that are not necessarily designed for sale. However, we do have the capability of producing or reproducing or duplicating anything that you see me with. It might be at a slight premium if it's not part of the already design. Good looking, thank you, Shanika. And my mama. She broke bread like ass, you know what I'm saying? Some people treat this like church and come in the door breaking bread. Ain't got an ass on my mama. When you walk in the store, you can't come in if you ain't got a mask on my mama. July 2nd today, we're gonna be laying my mama to rest. Of course, I am a pallbearer. Wouldn't have it no other way. And my mama. For real, I did that last year. Y'all called me the hip-hop police. What, when you did what? Sneaker, you still saying you can't hear me? You tripping, man. Everybody else said they can hear me. Back then, I was still white out there. They saying static. Ah, man. Y'all killing me. Guess I'm killing y'all. I don't know why it would be anything other than what it should be, though. Let's see what I can do. I know that don't sound good, right? So I'm gonna take that off. Go back now. I'm gonna call myself fiction. I bet you that's better. Now I'm realizing this USB slot right here ain't cracking because now the mouse ain't acting right. I switched the mic into the one that the mouse was in and now the mouse ain't working. So I know the mic should be better. Can you hear me now? Yeah, there we go. Yep. So now I see I got a slot that got an issue. Cause now I gotta deal with the little trackpad mouse on the laptop. But we Gucci. We Gucci. We Gucci in this. I guess it's just time to get the new computer. Say less. Oh my mama. It might be that yak coming back from the other day. Remember? That motherfucker bounced back like it was all to the good, but never know exactly. Oh, that's Daddy O? Oh, Daddy O. Oh, yeah, we stay with something cooking. What you mean? That's your brother? What you mean? Yeah. Oh, yeah, your bro. Yeah, that's my boy. What you mean? That's my day uno. Me put, Daddy O the black puto. On Goddard. We done been through a lot. On my mama. I don't know if you remember, in the early 2000s, they had like a flood in Watts. Like, it was some storms, hailing and all that. Cousin Puto almost drowned in the motherfuckers. I had to say they like her. And then even after the war kicked off between the homies, I done had both them niggas in the set. Wild incidents that took place. Yeah, Daddy, yo, that's my knot. Oh, my mama. I sure wish I knew who you was with your name, Baymac, with the hashtag. Oh, my mama. It's fixed though, sneaker. Yeah, I see what it is. We got a dead USB port. Oh, my mama. But look what I got. Puto gave me this, right? This supposed to be able to let me use this many USB ports.
but it got this type of extension on it. Plugged it up, and it wasn't nothing going live, even though the lights had come on. But then it got this on the back, so I think I got to do something to get with that little white piece on there. Ridiculous, I don't know, but I'm gonna get it cracking. Cause the computer only come with 2 USB slots, but I be wanting to utilize a few more anyway. But now we got a dead one, so we only working with one, so we gotta make some sense out of that one. But Cut don't even come through and tap in on my techno touchdown no more. Like I say, he got his own studio, so now the black box is super secondary to closed session, black days. But if you're trying to book your independent artist, local, you're looking for a good spot, quality spot to get a nice, comfortable session in, get a very good professional sound. Everything you heard me release since a lot of stuff through the years you probably wasn't aware of, but definitely everything you heard me release since 18 is all been done. Well, the majority, I won't say all, is because I've moved around a little bit, but the majority been right there, if not at closed sessions. Black days with Puto. Puto moved around with me and engineered my sessions elsewhere. So if you appreciate the quality of sound that I bring to the table, you definitely can tap in with Puto and reach that same exact level of quality. He on point. He's learned from the best. He has a lot of experience. He's traveled the world taking engineering courses from some of the best engineers that we've come across. So He has spent hours as a student, hours as an intern, and hours as a professional mixer, master, and engineer on my behalf and countless other artists. You'll be surprised at some of the people that's on his resume, including Neighborhood Nip, 03 Greedo, and other few others. I ain't finna try to go through the whole thing, but it's not just me. But we like to make that service. Also, if you have young people in the area that are interested in learning how to engineer, record, and just be fluent in the studio process, recording period, whether they're an artist or on the other side of it, or want to be on the technical side. You know, even if you're an artist, it never hurts to know how to record, because I remember being in the Blue Room, and many times beyond that, I learned in the Blue Room, but just benefiting from being able to record yourself. Let me tell you something, as an artist, there is very few scenarios you can imagine when it comes to comfort, like being in a studio all by yourself with all your equipment tweaked exactly to the specs that you prefer, and then you're in there creating all by yourself. I think outside of that, being compared to maybe matched with an engineer that can alleviate you with even the idea of recording, just whatever responsibility or stress or burden or belaboring that having to be the engineer could put on you. Having someone that can, you know, sometimes I used to love to book like quality night studios with the white engineers that are not going to try to engage you in extra conversation, and you bring your small crew that are only going, they know you're not, because when you're trying to be creative and you're on a clock, it's a thing. You're thinking about time, but you're trying to do your best, and a lot of time doing your best doesn't coincide with, if you're writing in the studio, coincide with rushing. So sometimes it's very, very distracting to have people who don't realize you really need to be in a mind frame of, I'm in here alone, and if I want to step outside of that, let me choose to engage you without it being offensive. Otherwise, you don't need to be there. So the only thing, if you can't really create that with multiple people, the next best thing is to be all by yourself, because you're not scared to mess up or do something wrong and catch yourself, and you start challenging yourself to go outside of your norm. And like EC, one of my most appreciated records these days is EC, even self-appreciated. I had the opportunity to be in studio all by myself in the black box. Can you turn that down just a little bit, please? In the black box by myself, came up on the beat by myself,
Wrote the lyrics because of right on the spot by myself. For those who haven't, I've told the story before, but just an interesting note since we on the subject, or I'm on the subject. Or my mama, I had gotten to a point of coming out of hiatus back into the game, just trying to get creative and do some things. And I had got up to about, I believe at the time, 10 new records that I had recorded. And then got into, getting to the process of every day living, chilling, kicking it, moving around, listening to your new music, listening to it. And I had wanted to continue creating or building the new catalog. So I was like, I had made a commitment to myself, like, I'm going to put these songs up, not going to listen to them until I get a whole nother 10. So I told myself that for like a day or two, and then I made up my mind that today is the day. And I put the music up. And the first session, the first night, I was in the studio by myself in the black box. Went to YouTube looking for beats. The EC beat, I found it. And that was the first beat I found. And I was in the studio that I wrote those first two verses the first night myself, recorded them. And I did the third verse the next day. But being in that studio by yourself, and it's easier now than ever. I don't know if people realize, it's becoming obvious when you see a lot of these new young artists that are becoming stars and that are obviously popular, and then they like show videos of them recording, and you can see how simple the setup is. It's very versus others that kept more intact with the traditions of old. When you're trying to be big popular, you typically go big with the process. And even like Nipsey, he was very invested in a quality process while he was recording. And I watched him no matter what level he was in the game. Once he considered himself professional, one thing I admired about him is that he obtained a professional setup, that the main components he could take with him wherever he went, no matter where he was going to be getting down at. And to make sure upon one, a traditionally known as the $10,000 Sony, that thing that looked like that Glock mic that Eminem became famous rapping on, and then 50 Cent followed. Nipsey had that way before his status dictated that he should be able to afford it. He made sure he could have that, and a couple of other key components. And no matter where his setup was at, he had that there because he had found the level of his delivery and his sound that he appreciated, that he never wanted to ever find himself under. He never wanted to be subpar a certain level, and he realized it through certain components, and he made sure that they was always on deck, including the same exact engineer. Shout out to G. For the better of the last 15 years, I don't remember, and I couldn't imagine unless he was way displaced and G was unavailable based on a collaboration situation, just being out of town or something. I don't remember him having anybody record him. It's nothing like also having an engineer that knows exactly what you're trying to do, what you want to do, how the best you can be, and locking in with that. I remember working with E40 and time passing in between, getting files sent to one another. And when the delay was on his behalf, it was always because, I got a Grammy winning engineer. I don't record with anybody but him, and I can't get down until our schedules sync. So a lot of time the professionals, you would imagine how distinct Ludacris' sound has been over the years. He doesn't outsource much of his engineering either. And he started locked in with Dre, typically that would be the recording process for the majority of the content. You gotta realize it's not just being wild and sporadic and getting cracking any and everywhere. It's about finding a system that works and being able to reproduce it at your best. On my mama. What you know about rollers, babe? Mac, rest in peace, my white boy partner Josh. On my mama. Not really knowing the exact story, but it's suspected that he passed as a result of a suicide or maybe a Russian roulette type situation. But he was a young man with a promising future that didn't really appear to be dealing with any type of dark issues that would push him to that extent. And it just reminded me and reminds us that we got to constantly be aware that there are energies and situations people are dealing with on a constant basis that don't necessarily meet the eye, and they're not apparent, they're not obvious. And a lot of time we judge people by how healthy and happy they look. And some people, it's taking everything within them to remain that happy, and they not nowhere near as healthy mentally or emotionally as they may look physically. And we just think that A-okay, and we apply pressure on them that might not be necessarily due. That's why I want to sometimes dial it back, even on Kurtisha, knowing that he grew up, you know, sexually confused based on things he was seeing from his parents. You got to be careful how hard you go on those type of people, especially when they're constantly lashing out at others who seemingly are typically weaker than them or more vulnerable than them, and they seem so aggressive toward them. And then here you come, and they get to tucking their tail and assuming a whole nother course of action. It's like, hey, how hard you want to push it? That's like just punching on somebody who don't fight back. I've never been that type of dude. My mama, if I have to present any type of resistance or force or aggressiveness toward you, even if I'm first, it's only going to maintain if you reciprocate it. So to just keep harping on somebody who obviously don't want it, who can't take it, can't handle it, regardless of what all the cornballs might think is going on. You gotta just be careful. Oh my. Because you don't want to get caught up in scenarios similar to this right here. On my mama, like, I already made the commentary on the first part that when I stumbled across the Jay Prince in the NBA young boy scenario. It's hard to ignore. Not only are people sending it directly to my DM, it's when you scrolling through your normal scroll, it's a popping topic. So even if you attempt to ignore it, you're going to be motivated to click on eventually. And I'm going to tell y'all, as much as I ignore content traditionally, as you can imagine, I ignore it slightly less now because I'm in a system where I want to be up on certain things just to be able to chop it up with y'all. Even if I don't directly bring it up and y'all mention it, I want to be able to be up on certain things. So I want to go low again just because of that. I'm going to figure it out to where I won't have to adjust my seat to see the screen and the shirts. But at this point, I just want to get the rest of that backdrop in. I'm so symmetric, it's killing me that because of the mic shot, that the two outer lines are not looking as long. That I know it might not even notice. I probably brought attention to it, but I'm gonna get it all right. But I don't understand. Like, as after such, it's like been decades, and Jay Prince was grown when his name first rose to any type of prominence in hip hop. He was a fully grown man. He was never a kid when we knew about him, and then I often refer to him versus Suge as an example of how a powerful individual on the street level should approach being a public name. Because for quite some time, Jay Prince's name was one that was a household name, but it was very hard to put a face to it. I would even liken Top Dog to that, in that sense, to what a CEO or a boss of anything that is major should be when the actual revenue and the bottom line of success is being involved with people who are publicly successful. You know, signing artists or whatever it may be. If that's the way you get your bread and butter, is by employing popular people, I find it conflicting when you are competitively as popular or attempting to be as popular or even somehow resultingly subsequently becoming as popular as the subjects that you are invested in. I think it's counterproductive for anyone in that position. So it was kind of ironic when Suge Knight used to clown Puffy. You don't want everybody dancing on your CEO dancing on your video, come over here. And then he was like, CEO should never be the biggest artist on the label. And then when the new role came, I watched Suge Knight become the biggest artist on the label and not experience much success after that. And then here it is with the Jay Prince situation. He's been an underground type of like powerful understanding for years. And I just feel like the more popular and face and vocal you get, the less of that you retain, and the more politically correct you're definitely gonna have to be in what you say. But I don't know why he's so comfortable with implicating himself with this mob tie thing. Like the mob in America is real, and even if you're not frauding to be so vocally attached to that, you see what they just did to Coochie and them. When it comes to hip hop and organized crime, they let you know they not playing. And I thought it was over with. This young NBA young boy, you see, he has a mouth and an aura that will go at any and everybody at any time. For Jay Prince to somehow get involved in some issues that initially didn't concern him, and although it's in a region that you were born in, I'm not going to speak to how he say, yeah, this is my business, regardless of the fact that it's not my business, it's my business because it happened in Texas. And you're saying this in front of the whole world to a young man who obviously don't care about nothing that we consider structure or all that. We already seen how he get down. So you got in his business. He spoke out because you made it a public thing that you in his business, and he made a public statement as he don't care about none of that. He not associating with it. He not making friends. Now your response includes reminding him that you guys have connections in front of the whole world. Now you the mob ties guy. Nobody that's really getting funky wants to be associated with the mob ties to the world. So for him to say, hey, I'm not looking for no friends. I don't know you dudes. I'm cool. I don't need that. I don't want that. All that in front of the public. And then you come to correct him with a statement saying, yeah, we are family. We go back. We connected. When they get to dropping them indictments, them conspiracies and federalities, you know the federalities been in Jay Prince in the business for decades. The feds never get out your business, especially when they're in your business because you had something established on the corporate level. They never stop peeking. I don't understand how these dudes feel so comfortable getting in front of the media and expressing this mafia mob persona, not to sell records, but to Jay Prince has to be considered a senior at this time. So to feel like that is the correct way to approach the public as a black CEO and everything that's going on, you have the energy to put out, and y'all hear me rambling on, but this is what I'm referring to right here. You have the energy to say this to a young black man after you got in his business in front of the world versus finding some other medium to communicate with him. Does he have the problem or do you have the problem? We already aware he has issues. He don't make no secret of it. He has some of the worst things that people can admit about themselves going on in his life, and he makes music about it, and he has no qualms about it. So I don't even attempt to try to assess a lot of things that he's going through because he's already let y'all know he don't give a So now, here it is. You find yourself motivated to speak, to make a speech, or preach to this young man, and I just don't understand the motivation for you to be this deeply involved or concerning with anything he got going on.
I see you took my kindness for weakness, because you're a dumb boy with limited thinking ability and disrespectful. You're talking slick and acting like you and your brother wasn't down with me letting it be known you were mob ties connected. But I talked to your brother, and I believe every word he said about you knowing because he's been solid with me. I've known your brother for years and never witnessed no weak shit. So OG3, we good. But you seem to be dumber than a box of rocks, so you despise wisdom. What you should be mad about is the lie you live in and the weak-ass security being asleep in front of your house. I bet he lied to you about being asleep. That's free game I just gave you, but it probably went over your head. Let me say this to you, little homie. You're not a friend or enemy today. Let's keep it that way, no matter how hot it gets in Texas. By the way, I'm minding my business. You just too dumb to know Texas is my business. And I will give you whatever you ask for, good or bad. I'm done.
What could possibly be worth getting on the microphone and sending a public threat, implicating a dude had to be having mob ties who is publicly denying having any connection with you? Well, my mama, that is enough to get implicated in a conspiracy because someone as mature and as well respected in the public and as familiar to the feds as Jay Prince is, going on recording saying you're denying being associated with me, that we not family, but we go way back. And then you try to tell him he sound dumb as some rocks. But then you think that you, for whatever reason, can say something fond of his brother and then divide and conquer and then continue to disrespect the young by calling him dumb, dumb, dumb. That kind of make Jay Prince sound dumb as a box of rocks. Oh, my mama, I don't want to manage unless him and his brother got some Cain and Abel BS going on. I don't know what make you think what you have done. I don't know if it was the bankerism, the hip hop records, the feds, you was cool with Suge and Irv Gotti, whatever you did in Texas. I don't know, it's because you can make phone calls across the state and get chains back. I don't know what it is, but how he dumb as rocks when you think you can shoot a few sweet sugary words at his brother and then turn around and disrespect him, and that's cool. Oh, my mama. I'm just saying this. Look, y'all know I don't be talking to nobody but the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people that be in my little chat. Anybody who hear me thinking out loud in front of my little peoples and then got something to say with it, they got the problem. They ain't got to worry about what I say. It's just what I think. Like, oh, my mama, Jay Prince was a part of the trinity, the trio of Irv, Suge, and Jay that the feds had their eye on from the 90s into the early 2000s, definitely when they executed their attack on all of those entities, and all three of them basically suffered direly. Jay Prince seemingly, and I could be wrong about the exact details, apparently was able to make a resurgence into success through the Drake situation primarily, which you see the time gap from when everything failed. Irv and them, you seen, got some things cracking media-wise outside of music, film, TV. We saw the fate Suge took. But when the feds is in your business that long, and then you feel comfortable here having you and then a second generation junior get this involved in petty little issues on the internet and warning and sending threats to a young man who was already victimized from the beginning as far as there was a crime committed on his property. And now you expect him, with everything you've seen about him in the media, to have some type of decorum or respect for the way you getting in his business and then letting it be known it's your business as well because he's in Texas. When we right now as a people are all coming to the realization that we don't own nothing in America and we trying to fight for what was taken from our ancestors when it comes to blood, sweat, and tears. And here you are. I don't want to use the word bullying, but some would probably deem it as attempting to bully. I've seen a lot of people call it extort. This young dude, 20-year-old, 7 kids, whole lot of problem, still getting his money with his art, basically the essence of what our culture stood for and should still stand for. And you're pressing him about his response to you getting involved in his business. It really don't look good, Jay Prince. It's like you kind of moving backwards with that. That's just my opinionization. And when I develop my opinion, especially on a public platform, my most inner challenge to myself is to utilize facts over feelings. I haven't even spoken on how I feel about it. I'm just saying the fact is that's counterproductive to even to your future, because if you're willing to put everything on the line, because you just said I'll give you whatever you want, good or bad, and we done seen him in Watts in the projects. It looked like it's finna be problems. he reaches for the burner himself. He not one of them dudes running to the trailer. He's looking for the strappy. So if you see, he got tape on work. So he got work on tape. You an older man that's been living for a long time, seen a lot of things turn over, but here you are getting caught up challenging this young boy who obviously has not benefited from the time on the earth that you have, the experiences that you have, and you causing yourself to be here it is, spit for spat with him. Don't seem like a chess move, sir. And you know it's chess, not checkers with us real ones, right? Oh, my mama, if it ain't, it should be. I'm just saying, though, this the black box. I'm Bay Machiavelli. You dig a lies, and if I ain't Bay Machiavelli, they'll call me SPI. If not SPI, some people say no brain. It be Bay Mactivity, though. I'm VJ Keyway. Sometimes I play videos. Spotted Loco, though. The most easty West kept secret. You heard? There go Rico with the white man talk. Jay Prince didn't expect him to snitch like that. He old school. If he old school, he would not be recording all these statements about all this funk that he's been doing for like the last decade on the internet, bro. On Rico, you from way over there. This is what used to get us suspect on you being Caucasian in the first place, because some of your belief is in magazines and internet, bro, what you done heard. You don't know nothing about that man that'll make you believe in him. Only what you heard. You don't know nothing about him. Nothing at all. You never seen him do nothing. Don't know nobody that's seen him do nothing. But you done read and heard articles and other people speak. So you got all this belief that when right in front of your face, he's doing things. Who makes these type of threats on record, bro? Yeah, you tripping, Rico. The man said, I got whatever you want, good or bad, to a young boy who we already just seen grabbing burners on camera. He has one of the most dreaded sexual diseases. He's still out here shining like new money, like a sex symbol. Seven kids, 20 years old. And here you go. You want to go to battle. You want to put all you've established and got, what you mean snitch, man? Somebody breaking your house and go on camera and videotape it and put it out and laugh and snicker and then go on live and ask you, do you want your stuff back? Where the snitching come in after that? Like, what are you talking about, Rico? Oh, mama. If you don't get out of here with that.
Overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie.
SPI
Can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be everything that they wanna be. Yeah.
This time around, I ain't moving with a gang of homies. By my lonely, couple bad bitches hanging on me. For sure, sharpshooters on deck though. Will I ever let my foot up off these bitch niggas' neck? No. Blue Bentley getting blunted. Wonder how it come to that. Can't let a rat do me like they done my nigga Thundercat. Baymac, place nothing above my paper. Couple slugs for the haters, but I love my neighbors. Point blank, do no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
continue. I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be. Yeah.
On the east, the streets. Anticipate my new release, legendary beast. Peace to Lil Tootie Reese. 97,000 in a day's work. It hurt to read the paperwork, we from the same turf. Talking super turned up to make things worse. Passed out passes in the past, I take the blame first. Go hard when I'm cleaning up the backyard. Queerdos sound like a queen trying to act hard. I represent the truth, we don't play by the same rules. There is no competition cause I can't lose. Versus vicious, sell them like souvenirs. Blue diamonds in my ear, hella fly,
Overlook
boom
my
again.
competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
Look here, the haters act like he don't know me. One man gang, I don't need no homie. On the 7 these days, they don't even see him seldom. Hunter money, who done touch more than me and Melvin? Anybody help him? Hell no, ho. Straight line dollars, Del Dog dough. SBI spot, can't never have it. East side legend like A7 Magic. Honcho hustle. Plus see the bomb in the booth, counting coins like Chucky from Swan. How the most easy with the ends gon' bow down. Ballin', clowning like Benzo.
Overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
The Marijuana-thon continues. That's TMC off the LOC EP, available on all DP. That's digital platforms. On my mama, tap in. All heat, no skippers. That's what we dedicated ourselves to from the recent past, present, and future. No skippers on the projects. On my mama, the boy Snoopy Kitty Cattery's son. I know we seen the picture of him with the dress on. When I saw the picture of the dress, I didn't investigate any deeper to realize he was trying to attempt a modeling career. First when I saw it, I thought it was more of a blouse. And I just like, damn, that's crazy. I wasn't even gonna trip because I know how these trendy styles was. And then after I came across it multiple times, I realized it was not just this feminine looking man shirt that would be considered somewhat of a blouse. It was actually a dress. And then I spoke on it in the light that, you know, Snoop Kitty Cat got so much to say about what everybody else got going on. And then he always makes it himself to be a public voice on public issues and disrespectful to minors, calling them funky dog, oop wops, and all that. Then he made it his business as the Crip ambassador of the world to also declare himself as super gay cuz #1 fan. That's when we had to make sure we had to cancel his Crippin'. Anybody that still speak up on behalf of his Crip, you need to cancel yours as well. I don't care who you is. On my mama, where you from, none of that. You call cuz big homie, sig homie, OG, any of that, you goofy. On my mama. But when we last checked in with Snoop Dogg's son, Cordell Broadus, he had quit college football and became a model. Some of his shots were a little gender bending. Now he's looking all man and spitting bars like his dad does. He's the Cortez 77 featuring Snoop Dogg. Here's the Cortez, the Cordy 77 featuring Snoop Dogg track Bron and Bronny. So I listened to the record. These some of the lyrics. Blame it on my mom, all the crippin' I see. Blame it on my grandfather hustling in me. Blame it on my daddy, I can't walk in peace. Cordell raps. What do you think? Can Cordell be the Bronny to LeBron? So I guess the Bronny and Bron is like, you know, LeBron's son apparently is pursuing the same career that made his daddy an icon. And now, after the football and then the modeling, including female apparel, now Snoop Kitty Cattery got a son that is taking a more obvious route in the first place, a more apparent, simple path to success. But his demeanor is quite thuggery. Like he in the studio blowing. You see, he's speaking on some slightly G. I don't know how deep he's gonna take his content into that direction of the thuggery, but he ain't on the he not rapping like a dude that had on no dress a couple months ago. But even though, like people like your boy Young Thug that took their dresses off, so I guess it's a new trend that you can wear the dress for a while, not only in black comedy, but also in black hip hop. You can wear the dress, get a general acceptance from the masses, and then throw the dress off, and then just act like that's why I did that, or for whatever reason, but now I'm this. But we gonna see how Snoop Kitty Catty, his little kitten, we gonna see how his kitten come through with it. Oh, but that kind of like blew my mind. I didn't expect that. I guess Snoop Kitty Catty probably got on his head about some of the backlash and got at him like, look, check this out. I spent whoop on that studio. You got engineers 24 hours around the clock. You know who I am to the world, cuz. You got African comedians counting me, cuz. You got this nigga Spider, cuz, the coldest crip ever was in this rap shit. He on my head, cuz. Cuz, you went from football to flowers, cuz. He probably told me, cuz, on 20s, cuz. You gonna have to do something, cuz. You gonna have to do something else, cuz. You gonna have to get in the booth, cuz. I'll get you some writers, or you can do your own writing, cuz. I got a gang of beats, cuz. At the lowest, cuz you can make this a year, cuz. We'll be going tour with me. I mean, it's a great. I mean, it's like a no-brainer on my mama. I don't know what took him so long to even reach that conclusion. You dig a lot? The boy on my mama. Y'all know y'all seen how recently I became familiar with the Troy Ave situation, but he hired the boy Meek Mill. He said he spoke out about the boy Meek Mill. Being on Takuchi head. Troy Ave spoke on Meek Mill and his constant swings at Takuchi Snitch 9 on his new podcast. Takuchi Snitch 9's legal team is reportedly afraid for his life once he gets off of house arrest. His sentence is set to end soon, and his lawyers may have good reason to be fearful because in recent weeks, Troy Ave has been encouraging rappers to practice what they preach and take care of the rat infestation in the streets. Wow, that sounds like old boy from the Carolinas. First, he suggested that Jim Jones should have the situation handled after Takuchi Snitch 9 got his friend Mel Murder locked up. Now he's seemingly telling Meek Mill that unless he plans on sending some actual shots his way, stop sending virtual threats at the rapper. Troy Ave is a firm advocate of the street code. I thought he said the street code was a myth. Despite his own allegations of being a snitch, he regularly questions the integrity of rappers and whether they are actually true to the streets like they say they are. On the new episode of the Facto Show, the New York personality took aim at Meek Mill. Why the is Meek Mill going so hard on Snitch 9? If you ain't about to kill that when you see him, don't say shh, said Troy Ave while on the phone with nobody. He proceeded to speak about how Meek loves to talk about Nipsey Hussle and his accused killer, critiquing his approach to that situation as well. It doesn't matter. And then he say, yeah, and Nipsey said, what Nipsey got to do with that to you, Troy Ave? Nothing at all. If that's a fact, there's a in jail that killed, bail that out and kill him on the streets if it's really on that. But he talking about if you speaking down on the fact that a rat took the keyway Christ, he telling Meek Mill, bail him out if you really got a problem with it and then handle your candle. On my mama, that sound real thuggery from a book or a movie standpoint, but from my understanding in California, it ain't no bail on no murder, especially not on no gang-related murder, that high profile. So as cute as that sounded, Troy Ave, you could have left that part out. Troy also spoke about Takuchi Snitch 9's snitchuation accusations against Snoop Doggy Cattery. You can find that at the 16-minute point. The conversation about Meek begins at 18 minutes. So, yeah, Troy Ave got a problem with people speaking down on snitches. I guess you can tell you this. I'm glad to know this, that I know this. I'm glad to know this, that I know this. I ain't the only nigga that know this. There's a lot of cats out here bogus. Like if a little lower, please. Just a little lower, please. If lower, a little lower, please. Lower, baby, baby. Lower. I'm almost done. I'm finna get up out of here. Let me see. I think I wanted to tap in about something else though. The whole situation. I think I did it all. The whole situation stank though. But Troy Ave, like I know he tired of everybody on his head about how his situation playing out now. I guess it take one to know one. It's just like Takuchi. Once you didn't officially war yours and what you know you are, you feel like you have a voice on the subject. This is the only reason I can speak on the contents of character when it comes to these characters in this hip-hop game. I love hip-hop. I just happen to love it. Always have my whole life. Got music about it. If you're not familiar with my record, Fool Out of You, go check it out. It's my love story with between me and hip-hop. It's kind of like my version of Common Senses. I used to love her. I say Common used to love her. I'm still sprung. Gotta get it cracking though while I'm still young. On my mama, but you gotta check it out. So I love hip-hop. And when you talk about loving hip-hop, not only do you love the art, the elements, and the essence, you have to be very quite adapted and aware of the individuals that partake and make up of it. And when you discuss hip-hop and generally with others, more so than the elements come up, it's the participants that come up. So there's a certain part of hip-hop that I'm more affiliated with, that people associate me with, and it's only because these are the subjects I speak on or have spoken on more frequently. The same way Takuchi come out and can speak about situations from his perspective with a lot of confidence, I can speak about the G Code situations from my perspective with a lot of confidence, and it just happens to be from the opposite perspectives as himself. Also, as Troy Ave, I ain't never been up under the gun for being a rat. I ain't got no smut attached to my name, period. But I have been ratted upon. I've had people try to put allegations upon my loved ones close to me and attempt to attach them to my character in the public, which is the most corniest thing that I've ever witnessed in these type of scenarios. Not only is it corny to try to attach another individual as a character mind and judge me by it, but you can't even substantiate or even begin to attempt to substantiate why you would even accuse my brother for even being what you heard Doja say. It only show you how long Whack No Honey been a double-aged snake, because you see in future years the person who brought it up. And then he said, don't make me bring that paperwork out. So he said something about my brother posted that told on a couple cats from 60s. He went to jail with one cat from 60s, one cat from East Coast. My brother and the cat from 60 conspired to come up with a statement. They made identical statements. So I put the statements up after he threatened to do so online, and he never responded. He hasn't put it out no more. But if he's the one that brought it up now, that my brother supposedly was a rat, back when Doja was rapping about it, supposedly, you look at the time frame, you know where he got the intel from. It was fraudulent, false back then. It's fraudulent and false now. But them the type of darts you got to shoot at me when it comes to characters. So as long as they being shot and have been shot for years and ages, I have no problem speaking my position, my perspective, my point, my opinion on other persons who are publicly already being discussed anyway. On my mama, and my expertise just happened to be the code of conduct that happens to be described as the G code by some of the people y'all admire and aspire to be like. So the same way Tom Brady talk about the pocket and a 2-minute drill and offense, you listen. When I speak about my experiences that I've been through and situations that relate to, it just might, might warrant a listen. on my mama. But until next time, I just truly hope this was the best time. Because as I always do say, it sure was a blessing to me here in the Black Box and blow us this session. Love y'all, my mama.
My mom always says that I have an old soul. Whatever that means. She says that while other kids worry about toys, I worry about helping those in need. I guess that's true, but I still love toys too. I think what makes me different from other kids is that I'm Riley and they're not. The end.
Snakewood and that hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the Black Box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that. SPI in the streets, my nigga Spotter Low, y'all already know what it is. Schwarzenegger. Oh yeah, and don't forget check my website out too. NipseyHustle.com.
Streets.net, what's up, my nigga SPI? Gotta get back in and do it again, my nigga.
Tupac of my generation, Pac was highly intelligent, but in our culture, street culture, especially in his generation, intelligence was viewed as a form of weakness. How do you get the people that's really affected by, you know, what we trying to solve involved?
Yeah. Family broken, so I stand with my niggas. Showed up to every shootout, but I ran for my feelings. Time for those, I got a plan to get millions. Whoever don't agree, I see you back at the buildings. That's why I never let y'all act like a victim. That's why I never let y'all kill my ambition. You wasn't built for the mission. Park my cutlass in the back of the village. Remember Tony started washing them dishes. It was all a decision. Fast died, he took a part of me with him. Heart broken like my artery missing. Just fuck all of you niggas. Team broke, they can't harvest you, nigga. Swore shit, it got a heart to it, nigga.
I used to know you were gon' fold them. I used to know that I could count on you. All that pressure they bestowed on. Pray my son never face what I go through. Yeah. They get it, don't wear the crown right. And if it be feeling like what it sound like. Now my life was a struggle and it get worse, I ain't complain about it. I just can't never feel the same body. My life built on damage, ain't understanding, can't call family, no. Got crossed by my closest, I ain't gon' show too much emotion, My low one call my phone, I pick up right away. I know I'm living wrong, if it's the right way. I was too busy trying to get heavy, I was lightweight. A lot of niggas that came in with me ain't on my side today. I been trying to leave with some of these songs in case I die today. Every time I need something lean on, I drink that spot away. So it don't feel how it feels to me. Cause I've been through it and it did what it did to me. I trusted you and that was big for me. This my little partner, you do that big for me. And I ain't never jumped in my feelings, I have. You used to know you were gon' fold them. I used to know that I could count on you. All that pressure they bestowed on. Pray my son never face what I go through. Yeah. Nigga, they get it, don't wear the crown right. And if it be feeling like what it sound like. Now my life was a struggle and it get worse, I ain't complain about it. I just can't never feel the same body.
Mathematical mogul.
Marathoning, making moves, taking. The heartbreaking news made major breaking news. Nephews, nieces, siblings, seeds, they confused. Waking up shaking, aching, praying that it's April Fools. Chosen child from the now down, stakes is huge. Snakes and fakes straddling the gate, it's too late to choose. Through violent visions gave victory, paid your dues. Motivated, demonstrated elevated views. Truths don't die, we multiply, I ain't make the rules. Self-medicate, meditate and celebrate the blues. Neighborhood, roller coaster, you can take the cruise, I'm good. Blue laces, suede Puma's favorite shoes. Jesus to the generation, you never say me on my babies. Most beautiful gift Puto ever gave me. For such a precious life, who decides price? I couldn't feel the slide twice, cuz they crucified Christ.
I used to know that I could count on you. All that pressure they bestowed on me. Pray my son never face what I go through. Yeah. They get it, don't wear the crown right. And if it be feeling like what it sound like. Now my life is a struggle and it get worse, I ain't complaining about it. I just can't never feel the same about it. My life built on damage, ain't understanding, can't call family, no. Got crossed by my closest, I ain't gon' show too much emotion, no. No one call my phone, I pick up right away. I know I'm living wrong if it's the right way. I was too busy trying to get heavy, I was lightweight. A lot of niggas that came in with me ain't on my side today. I been trying to leave some of these songs in case I die today. Every time I need something lean on, I drank that spot away. So it don't feel how it feels to me, cause I've been through it and it did what it did to me. I trusted you and that was big for me. This my little partner, you do that big for me. And I ain't never tripped in my feelings, I used to know that I could count on you. All that pressure they bestowed on me. Pray my son never face what I go through. Yeah. They get it, don't wear the crown right. And if it be feeling like what it sound like. Now my life is a struggle and it get worse, I ain't complaining about it. I just can't never feel the same about it.
Snakewood and that hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe.